The Icons of Real Estate Podcast. Are you ready to learn the proven money-making secrets from top-producing icon agents? Ready to skyrocket your business? This podcast is for you. Tune in every week with your host, Tomas Fonseca, and find out how to implement proven strategies to 10 times your business, from $3 million to $30 million in just 12 months. Brought to you by the Masters in Real Estate Marketing, Arter SEO.
Welcome back to the Icons of Real Estate podcast. I'm your host, Timothy Kaitano, and today, as always, ladies and gentlemen, we have a good show for you. Today's guest is a successful real estate agent. She has over 23 years of experience, and you know what that comes with, a wealth of knowledge. Ladies and gentlemen, since 2001, she has sold over 1,000 homes and counting. Who knows? It might be close to two, She has been ranked as a top 1% realtor. She has won award after award after award after award, and she's also an icon agent. Ladies and gentlemen, if I have to, introduce her by all her accolades, that might just be the whole episode, all right? But I want you guys to get to hear her story and how she rose to success. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome today's guest, Cristina Caministeanu. Did I get it right?
Perfect. Caministeanu.
Caministeanu, welcome to the show, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Happy to be here.
And we are so honored to have you on the show. You have been doing amazing things in the industry, since 2001. I mean, around 2001 now, I don't know. I was super, super young. I don't even know if I was walking at that age. But you were taking over the real estate industry and would like to know how this all started. How did you get into real estate?
Yeah, I was going to go to college and finish my bachelor's degree. I've always liked marketing and advertising. And I saw an ad in the paper, get your real estate license for free. And I went to the meeting and I joined Century 21 at the time, and I was hooked from day one. It's the negotiations, the housing, the putting the deal together. It was all just so fascinating to me.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. What were you doing before then?
So at first, I was 26 when I started real estate. So at first, I was going through college, and then I was working for a psychiatrist, and I thought I wanted to be a therapist. And after seeing what they were going through, I'm like, yeah, no, not for me. Listening to people all day, not for me.
Yeah.
Which I now looking back at it was a great experience because it taught me people skills. And I think that is a huge, huge, huge asset. Any realtors in the business, study people, study human behavior, and that will make you a better salesperson.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, take us through your first year in real estate. How was that for you? Because the reason why I asked this is for a lot of people, especially today, we're finding that 90% of agents, drop out within the first year. And we believe that sharing, stories of how you can overcome that, how you can grow within your first year can help them out. How was your first year in real estate?
My first year, so I still had my job part-time, and I joined Century 21. And as a part-time agent, they wouldn't let me have a desk. They wouldn't let me do what's called floor time at the time. This was before the internet age. There was internet that did not exist in 2001. The MLS was an app, or basically a program on a computer, and there were only 2 or 3 in the office, and that's how we accessed listings. There were no photos. It was a blue and white screen. I remember like it was yesterday. So having that floor time and the old-fashioned type advertising was the way to be. And being at Century 21, I remember telling my manager, because I said, hey, I'm here to make money. I need a desk. I need floor time. Like, I need help. I constantly did that for about 3 months. I was on my own. And I had actually had two transactions in the first 3 months. One was a family friend from church. And the funny thing is, 20 some years later, their son was all grown up and he bought a house with me. And now all his friends are grown up, so they're buying houses with me.
Wow.
So, and the other one was my sister's coworker. So, but still, that wasn't enough for me. Two transactions in 3 months was not enough. Then the manager referred me to a team. There was a small team, basically two buyer's agent, an assistant, and a transaction coordinator. And I remember him telling the team leader, you need to hire her. She's a bulldog. So when I joined the team, she basically like, you need to quit your job. And I was with her for about 6 months, and I felt like I learned everything that I needed to learn. And then I went on my own and I did 27 transactions that first year. There was no stopping me. I was doing open houses. I think it was two to three times a month. On the weekend I was doing open houses, talking to everyone. I would meet someone at the grocery store. Here's my card. Can I get your information? And I would mail them a handwritten note. So all the old-fashioned techniques that some of the newbies are not implementing because they think it's all about social media, which it is. You have to sort of do both, but it's face to face.
Yes.
That's how we do business. It's person to person, not some mass. You throw out this mass thing on the internet and hope and pray that someone responds and calls you.
Yeah. Now, in 2002, you received a prestigious award. You received the Master's Achievement Award in 2002, all the way to 2014. What contributed towards this level of success?
Basically, if I can do 27 transactions in the first year, I can do it again. It's like if I could do something once, I'll do it again and again and again. And I just needed to up the scale. So I went from Centurion to Masters and then those are Century 21 awards. And then I went to Keller Williams. They didn't really have any specific awards, just basically based on volume. And of course, I met all the criteria there too. So what kept me going is if you could do it once, who says you can't do it again?
And what worked for you? What was your strategy? What do you think you did best that worked towards your advantage?
As simplistic as this may be, I
Mhm.
work. Work.
I like that. Sometimes
It's
it's that simple, right?
right, right.
Yeah.
You got to talk to people. You
Mhm.
got to talk to people, offer value, anything that you can give for free. You want to be the resource for anything real estate. I have clients calling me about, not only home improvements, asking for vendors, or even attorneys, title issues. Hey, I want to add my son to the title. I want to put my property in a trust. Who do I go to? Being the resource person is, I believe, one of the reasons that people keep coming back to me. And of course, providing first class service from day one. And this is what I tell all my newer agents that I'm mentoring. You may not have all the answers. Actually, you don't have all the answers, but you know people who do.
Yes.
Surround yourself with a circle of people that know what they're doing, that are experts in their field, and then go to them and ask for advice. It's like, hey, my client wants to do this. What do I do? Especially right now with all the, California insurance being a big deal. I've called three insurance agents and I'm like, okay, I need a good team of people. If we're struggling with getting insurance, I need to have my people set in place, not scramble 5 days before escrow closes.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that. Now, you have been very consistent um, from the time you got started to where you are now, from being with Century 21 to Keller Williams to now even being an icon agent with EXP. What has contributed not just to your success, but your longevity in the industry, and what keeps you going?
Well, treat it like a job. It's not a hobby. I don't care if it's 10 o'clock or whatever, family calls. No, I'm working, mom. Call me later.
Mhm. Yeah,
We can
yeah.
talk after work. So longevity, gosh, I love the business. I
Mhm.
really do. It doesn't feel like work. You know that saying, if you love something, you never have to work a day in your life.
Yes.
I genuinely feel that. I absolutely love it. And part of my package is going in and helping people get their home ready and seeing a property that's, somewhat of a fixer or needs a little help, just dolling it up and making it pretty and making it presentable. That's one of the things that I just love doing. So longevity is, you gotta love what you do. I
Yes.
see too many agents that get in the business for the wrong reasons. They don't succeed.
Mhm. Mhm. And how do you and try to, you know, instill the same values or the same principles that you started off with or you continue to have, in other agents that you're mentoring today?
Um, I mean, I tell them treat it like a business. Treat it like a real job. If you commit 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, you can't, failing would be impossible because it's all about, it's a numbers game too, right? The more people you reach, the more chances you have at succeeding. So however you reach those people, whether it's through social media or open houses or door knocking or cold calling or whatever you're comfortable with, do that. I see agents trying to get online and do videos and they look so awkward and so uncomfortable. I'm just like, oh, do what you're
Um,
comfortable with and just
mhm.
multiply it and continue to do that, like what works. Initially, when I started, I was good on the phones. I mean, I started with the cold calling back in the Mike Ferry days, and I got good at the phone calls. And then the follow through, the follow up. I had clients in my database from 15 years ago that I had spoken to, but I continue to touch them a mailer once or twice a year. And, they remember the consistency.
Oh, that's amazing because, you know, um, a lot of people, I wouldn't say fail as time goes, but it's not the easiest thing like to be consistent as you have been, winning award after award, and it doesn't stop for you. I want to know, how have you been able to adapt to the changes in the real estate industry from the time you started till now? I mean, you started at a time where, you know, the internet really doesn't exist like that.
It was
To the
pager.
time,
I had
yeah.
a pager.
And for me personally, I cannot imagine what life is without it. But you managed to be successful during those times. You managed to be consistent even through the market crash, through COVID. How have you managed to adapt to all these changes that come within the industry?
That's a big thing, and I'm glad you brought that up. You have to shift. You have to shift, pivot, adjust. So when I saw back in 2007, 2008, the market was crashing, and I'm like, okay, short sales are coming, bank-owned properties are coming. If I'm going to survive this business, I need to get into the REOs, and I did. I applied at every bank I could possibly apply for, and I had multiple REO accounts. So one year, I think I did 88 sides and they were all bank foreclosures pretty much. So see where the market's going and go there. If REOs are selling, go get REOs. If it's short sales, get short sales. So that's kind of and then I feel like I grew up with the internet. Yes, I still keep the old-fashioned type marketing, the print advertising at a minimum, but I started implementing the internet. So set up all the pages on every profile. I feel like that's how I've adjusted with the market. A lot of the older agents that started at the same time with me, they did not adjust. They didn't start their web presence, their internet presence until later on. And you kind of have to start from the beginning if you're gonna do it. So follow the market, follow the trends, and just go there. It's simple, but it's not.
Yeah,
I do follow all the experts, and it's like what's coming. So always be in the know of what's going on.
I like that. Thank you so much for sharing that. I hope you guys are listening to this, all right? Always follow the trends and continue to educate yourself. I think a lot of people think the education stops once you just get your license. You're good to go. You don't have to read or pick up a book. All you have to do is sell houses. But if you want to make it in this industry, continue to educate yourself. Know what's happening around you. Now, in 2000, I'm saying 2001, in 2021, you joined
Mhm.
EXP, a brokerage that is mainly focused on agents and making sure that agents continue to be successful and are able to leave a legacy. What drew you to EXP's model? What did you really find attractive about it?
Um, it was the revenue share and the mentoring part of it, because I've always had giving heart. I want to help people, and what's better than to help someone and get paid for it as a mentor or doing through revenue share. So that was my reason. I have a few more good years to work and build. So I want to build a passive income that I feel that no other company provides at this point. Not at the level that EXP does.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Now, fast forward today, I mean, you are leading, an army of, real estate professionals. You are mentoring people that are doing very well. Um, we had the pleasure of seeing one of co-workers, little cutie but he couldn't make it. It's a he, right? I have to make sure that I'm getting the dog right. It's a he, right? The dog you had on the show.
Oh, yes, yes, he was here. He wanted to be on my lap.
He was
Yes,
here, so
my
he's
my
also
dog
there.
son.
Oh man,
Yes.
that he's so cute. He's so cute. Where do you go from here? Because it seems like you have been able to, win every award that you can. And I want to know, where do you go from here? I love the fact that you are mentoring agents. I love the fact that you are also educating other people. Where to from here? What are your goals for the next couple of years?
Like I said, I love the industry, and I want to make sure that agents that are coming in are trained and that they're trained right.
Mhm.
And where do I go from here? With a bang. I want to build my revenue share. I want to increase my price point, which is why I joined EXP Luxury a couple years ago. But at the same time, I'm not going to stop doing my bread and butter deals because those are quick and easy, or take a lot easier than to sell than the $1 million plus. Um, so I don't know. Where do I go from here? Just same thing and just
Yeah.
multiplying it, doing bigger and better.
Oh, that's amazing. Now, with the recent California fires, and just before I go into my questions, thoughts and prayers to everyone affected by it. Um, how do you see this shaping up the real estate market within California?
Well, insurance has been an issue for the last few years. It's nothing new. This is just making it worse. It's going to get more expensive. I do hope, and all predictions say that rates will go down. So if rates drop, that should kind of offset the higher prices of homeowners insurance. But at the same time, I try not to worry. Like I need to know about it. But I look at the big picture. People are always going to need to buy and sell, no matter what happens in the market. There's life happens and people need to sell. And that's where my focus has been, all these years. We can sit around and talk about how 71% of the agents have not closed one transaction in 2024. Like, how do I get into the top ones that are selling? And what are they doing? So I'm following other people that are doing more than me. Never stop learning. And one of the things, and you mentioned through COVID, what kept me going there is, and that's when I started looking, I created my own little hot sheet. So every week I would see how many new listings came on the market. And this is just for my immediate cities around me, Redland, San Bernardino, Loma Linda. Those are areas that I typically cover. So I would see in the last 7 days, there have been 5 new listings on the market. 3 of them went under contract. So that gave me the encouragement that business was still happening, that just because COVID happened and things were shut down, people were still moving. Life was still happening. So seeing that, it's like if nobody's moving, nobody's selling. But if people are selling, how do I get my foot in the door, get an opportunity to work with that client, buyer or seller?
I like that. I like that. I hope you guys are taking notes on this as well. Now, I'm curious. What do you have planned for this year? What are your goals for 2025?
That's actually one of the things I used to write down goals. I used to do vision boards. I don't do any of that. I
You don't
live,
do it anymore?
no, I live and breathe and dream my goals. So I don't need a poster up to tell me what my goals are if I'm not doing the daily activities to meet those goals.
Oh, oh, I like that. I like that, man. You can have a poster, but if you're not doing the activities to get to the goals, then there's just no point. Oh, man, I like that. I like that. Thank you so much for sharing that. Christina, this has been an amazing episode. I want to thank you so much for being an amazing guest. It was really an honor having you on the show. I mean, looking at your contributions in the industry and your accolades, I'm honored to have you as a guest on the show. I also like to thank you for continuing to pour into other agents. It's not, very common in the industry. You find accomplished realtors, share tips on how others can also, find success within the industry. But we thank you for doing that and taking the steps to make sure that you raise an army of professionals around you. Thank you so much for being an amazing guest on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, now, before we end things off, I want you to know if you want to get in touch with Christina and her team, it's that simple. All you have to do is just go in the description if you're watching this on YouTube or any other platform, visit her website, follow her on the socials, and trust me, reach out to them. Don't be afraid. You can see she's super friendly. Don't be afraid. She will definitely help you. Whether you're looking to buy or sell a home in California, you would be in the best hands. All right. So all I encourage you guys to do is reach out to her and the team, and trust me, it'll be the best decision of 2025. Before we close things off, remember, we are still producing podcasts in 2025. And my question is always, ladies and gentlemen, if you were to start your own real estate podcast, what would you call it? All right. Before we close things off, we're going to ask Christina, if you were to start your own real estate podcast, Christina, what would you call it?
Oh, I wish I had notes on this before. What would I call it? Gosh, would it be geared toward clients or agents?
It can be whatever you want it to be. It's a podcast where you get to be yourself, you get to educate people, you get to share things about California. So you can name it whatever you want. What would you call your podcast?
Mm, I would say living and being the best you.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. Living and being the best you podcast. I love that. I love that. All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as always, disclaimer, please do not use this. It's already taken. All right. Don't comment down below and say, Tim, I want to start a podcast, living and being the best you with Thomas. No, we're not doing that. It's already taken. All right. Now, Christina, you have been an amazing guest. Thank you so much. Hope to have you on the show again. Thank you so much and please continue to do what you're doing because you are definitely inspiring us. From the Icons team and myself, thank you so, so much. Ladies and gentlemen, if you got this far, hit the like button, share this episode with your friends, your social circle, because they'll love you forever. It has been your host, Timothy Kaitano, with the amazing superwoman in real estate, Cristina. Till we meet again, take care and peace.